Hey, CrossFitters, welcome back. It's Coach Bob here at CrossFit Glen Burnie, and today we're looking at healthy meals on a budget. One of my favorite things right now is saving up some money so I can do some fun things with it. But I don't have to spend all that money on the food. And I know the cost of fruit and veggies and all these things with inflation is getting a little bit out of hand and out of control. So I'm looking for ways to save some money, and I'm going to share those with you today. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. So we have some healthy meals on a budget and some tips here for you. The first tip that I really like here is buying whole foods, not food products. Now, if you think about it, you can get 10-pound bag of potatoes, for example. You can get a lot of broccoli. You can get a lot of produce. And it seems like, that might be expensive, but when you compare to what you actually get in the produced foods, you might pay $5, $6, $7, $8 for something that's kind of already prepared, and you're not even getting 1/4 or 1/2 or even 1/5 of the veggies and the other kinds of things you have in there. So if you want to stretch your dollar, number one, buy whole foods, not the food products. Whole foods provide our body with the nutrients and keep us satisfied longer, and processed convenient foods have low nutritional value and are linked to chronic disease. So that's a win-win right there. Tip number 2, shop in season and watch for sales, okay? As we get out, like right now in the winter, we have the winter squashes and those kinds of things. So they're pretty plentiful. You're going to find those, and you can bake a butternut squash, spaghetti squash, and things like that, acorn squash. Don't buy the one that's already chopped up. Get the whole thing, put it in the oven, let it bake for an hour and a half, and then you've got great squash, which you can use as a side dish. By shopping in season, that means that as the season goes along and we get into the spring, then we've got some more greens, and then we get into the summer, and in the summer, fruits and veggies and things like that. So look for what's in season. The things that are out of season are going to be more expensive because they have to be grown in special conditions. So utilize seasonal local produce for both cost effectiveness and nutritional value. They're going to be peak season, peak freshness, so good. Okay. Also look over the weekly grocery ad for specials and sales. Sometimes if they're overstocked on something, then you can get a good buy on that. Tip number 3. Make it from scratch. Okay. So if you're purchasing ready-to-eat foods, it's more costly and much more costly than purchasing the whole food ingredients to make it at home. So you can create your own smoothies, your own dressings, marinades, sauces, and soups. So I like to make my own dressing, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, and you're going to be a lot better off than paying $3, $4, $5, $6 for a jar that's already prepared. Marinades, you can make your own as well, and sauces and soups. And soups is a great way to actually get a good meal that can stretch throughout the week. And you can, and it's not that expensive, right? So using all the tips up above, you can really make some really good soups and get some variety, because as the seasons change, you'll get different fruits and veggies. Don't put fruit in your soup. Well, you could. I guess you could do it like a watermelon soup. But anyway, you get what I mean. Meal prep. Okay, guys, this is probably the biggest thing to really help save some money for your grocery bill. And that's really going to be meal prep. Pre-making meals for the week is going to save your wallet and keep your nutrition on track. The reason that is that you are preparing larger batches of food. Less food's going to go to waste. And then you're going to also be able to buy a little bit more in bulk than, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of something else. And then always running back and forth to the grocery store, or just, hey, phone a friend or DoorDash or something like that, where you're going to pay a lot more than if you were making it yourself. You can use three compartment containers to keep your portion sizes consistent. Number 5, minimize food waste. So plan out your weekly meals, inventory your refrigerator and your pantry before shopping. So this is a pretty good strategy. I have some staples and things like that that I use quite frequently, and so I keep that stocked in my pantry. And then, in our refrigerator, it's not filled with a bunch of leftovers and things like that. We're planning out the meals, we're eating what we're making, and very little is actually going to waste. So that's the idea there. Less food that goes into the garbage is less money that you're spending on food. Freeze extra batch of prep meals in airtight containers for up to 3 months. So this isn't something I thought of, but this is a good tip as well. I mean, it's not something I'm doing, but it is a good tip. So if you do make more than what you could eat in the 3 or 4 days, then you can always freeze that, and that's going to save you time and money in the long run. Number 6, cook in bulk. We talked about that already, using the same staple in a lot of different ways. For example, you could have pulled chicken and make that into tacos, or maybe on a salad, or a stuffed sweet potato. Lots of ways to use it. Here's 5 meals that we put together for you under $5, $5.55. If you're, what is the name of that pizza place that just raised their price from $5 to $5.55? Okay, so we got 2 meatloaf muffins, $1.50, a cup of mashed sweet potatoes, 35 cents, and some steamed broccoli for $3.25 total, or the total cost, I'm sorry, is $3.28. I wonder if the broccoli was free. The urban crusted salmon, the salmon might be a little bit expensive on there. $1.75 for 6 ounces of salmon. I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit more than that, but you get the idea, right? A small portion, about the size of a deck of cards. That probably would be about $3 if you can get your salmon on sale. So I think that price is a little bit low, but a little bit of quinoa, a little bit of air fried green beans, and you are ready to go. We also have a little bit of pork loin. Pork loin can go a long way. And it's a good lean protein, some black beans, grilled peppers, and onions. That's not going to cost too much, really. And a half an avocado, which about 68 cents. That's about right. Quarter cup, half an avocado, quarter cup, something like that. 6 ounces of chicken breast, along with a red potato, and 2 cups of Brussels sprouts. So here's another $5 meal. I'll make myself move out of the way. We've got a little bit of sirloin steak, 6 ounces. That's about right. Maybe $3.50. If you get some grass fed, you might be paying $4.50. But anyway, 1 cup of roasted butternut squash. Talked about that already. And some mashed cauliflowers. So another $5 meal. Lots of great ideas there for saving money and cutting back on that overall food bill, right? So I just wanted to share with you some of my tips and my ideas to help us to save a little money on our grocery bill and use that money for some fun things. Take care, guys. It is so good to see you once again, and looking forward to seeing you in the gym. Bye now. Peace.